Hey there guys, welcome to my YouTube. I'm Levi from Masculine Intuition Readings and this is my October creepy deck video. And I love creepy decks, I love darkness, I love working with darker themes. And the first deck I want to show you guys is a brand new Oracle deck that I got, and it's in a very small little cute tuck box with lovely gold foil on it, and it's The Oracle by Becky Cloonan. And Becky Cloonan is supposedly a very famous illustrator. I had never ever heard from her, but this deck is based on cautionary tales, and I love that. It comes with a little pamphlet, I should say, like this, with spreads and all the card meanings, and this is a dark fairy tale oracle deck to the max. Let me show you some cards. It's very dark, very depressing. No, it's not depressing. It's actually pretty good, a pretty good balanced oracle deck, you know, but it really has that dark fairy tale-esque vibe. And this is an oracle deck that is the kind of deck that I normally don't use because it has some obvious and good cards, but some weird cards where I don't get the symbology behind it, like 7 Drops of Blood. I do remember that that is from a fairy tale, but I don't really remember. There's some hot, pretty sexy guys in here too, so it's a really cool little deck. Plus, it's not that expensive, which I like. Another creepy deck that I have is the Wayward Dark Tarot, and I bought this because I wanted a Thoth style deck that was a little bit more modern because I love Thoth, and this deck is really dark, really creepy, really cool. Once again, I'm not going to be doing flip throughs of all of these. This is my favorite card from the Thoth deck, you guys, Princess of Earth. I'm not going to be doing full flip throughs because most of these are already on YouTube as is, and yeah, I just love the creepiness of this deck. And another favorite of mine, a Knight of Earth, and the Knight in the Thoth is the King. The Magus, also really great, that Plague Doctor vibe. If you're looking for a scary deck, look up the Wayward Dark Tarot by Pixel Occult. The next deck I wanted to show you guys is an oldie but a goodie, the Barbara Walker Tarot in a tin. Get the tin edition. The 70s edition is only a fraction bigger, so it already is quite a cute little pocket deck. Now, what makes this creepy? The art, for some reason, has a very much a Halloween-y, creepy vibe to me. There's quite a lot of like pagan imagery, a lot of gods and goddesses. So yeah, it's not necessarily really dark and really creepy, but it's giving me kind of that old school illustrated Halloween kids book vibe. I don't know, but I love it. I'm absolutely in love with this. The little white book that comes with this, and I just dropped it, so let me pick that shit up. The little white book that comes with this is also pretty good. So, and the deck is kind of thothy. Like, not all the symbolism is there, but it's pretty cool. So yeah, this is definitely a tip for Halloween, and I just love carrying this around. I always like to keep one of the Tarot in a Tin decks in one of my bags. So the next deck that I want to show you guys is also another one that isn't that famous. It's the Inner Dimensions Tarot by Ash.Attitude. It comes in this cute little velvet satchel that I don't really care for. But this deck is totally giving me the dark Halloween vibes. I love the cardstock they used, like that linen cardstock, but this is glossy. You don't see it that often. And this is really giving me that Samhain Halloween vibe, especially with the coloration too, like it's that orange, yellow, and black. Really cool. The Drowned Man. I love this illustration. It's so good. So very elemental, very pagan, very dark, very sexy, very gender neutral, like amazing. And once again, this is a MakePlayingCards.com deck. You can find a lot of hidden gems on there. There's a lot of bullshit on there too. Now let me show you some decks that I haven't showed on this channel before. This is the Nocturna Oracle deck, a really nice dark Oracle deck by the creator of the Anima Mundi Tarot. And this is all based around symbology regarding the nightlife, the nocturnal nature stuff. Nocturnal, oh, whoops, those are the backs. Nocturnal animals, nocturnal things going on, like the night blooming water lily, and it's all very dark, demure almost. And once again, this is the type of Oracle deck that I normally don't like, where I, would not always know the symbolic meaning of the ocelot, so I have to look it up in the book. But this little book is really, really easy to use. It works very intuitively, and she chooses her words wisely. Another deck that I want to show you that hasn't been shown on my channel before is the Hyde Tarot. Let me show you all the box. The box isn't really indicative. The box doesn't indicate the contents at all, because this deck is very, very dark, cool. This is a tarot oracle deck made because the creator, Dan Francis, was grieving and was getting nostalgic and took all kinds of symbology from his life and also his childhood life and chose some really interesting pictures, like this one, the vampire for 10 of Swords, and he created these so gorgeously. The fox as the Page of Wands, like the amber as the Four of Wands, where literally fiery, gooey, sticky amber encapsulates this bug, forms this structure, right, which the fours are all about. So yeah, really interesting, really cool. Sometimes the symbology is kind of like, don't know if I get it, but for some reason, 9 times out of 10, this really hits hard. Oh yeah, the Devil card is my favorite, the Siren, and he chose a guy as the Siren, which I love because Dan Francis is a gay creator, and I love like how that queerness just seeps through. I love that. The Pearl for the Ace of Pentacles, and the illustrations are really, really well created. I love it. I love this deck. The guidebook is really great, and also what he did, which I love, is I initially saw this deck on Little Red Tarot, but on his website you can actually get it for cheaper if you buy it without the guidebook, so that is amazing. Another spooky, Halloween-y dark deck that I recently got is the Lost Forest Tarot, the 2nd edition. I backed this on Kickstarter. I'm not going to do a full video on this, I think. I love the deck. The box is kind of shoddily made, and I wonder if it's actually worth the price that I paid for it, but I just had to have it because of the dark art, and I especially like the bonus card, the Faceless. And this is actually a depiction of her boyfriend, Gage, who also designed the font that was used throughout the deck. And I want to get in touch with this guy because I love fonts like this. Like, wow. I might actually do a little flip through video of this because all of the minor arcana are panoramic, like in the Prisma Visions Tarot. So you can lay them out as a panorama, like, look at this, the Knight of Earth. I love that dark vibe. 6 of Fire, one of my favorite cards in the deck. Let's see if I can show another cool one. Oh my god, the Page of Oceans. Look at that little cute seal. I love it so much. Like, this deck is like cute, creepy, sexy, king of water, king of oceans, like, yes daddy, cheer me up, those vibes. Next up is The Darkwood Tarot by Sasha Graham. This was all the rage when it came out. Oh, whoops. This was all the rage when it came out. It comes with a really nice hefty guidebook that I still have to read. I think everybody has this, so I don't have to show it per se. Glossy cardstock, which I like, but most people loathe. But it's a really, really good writer with Smith clone, with sexy guys, sexy girls, dark, atmospheric, gothic bullshit going on, and I love it. This is giving the 14-year-old me back in 2004 life. Was I 4 in 2004? I think I was 16, but yeah, it's pretty cool. We've all seen this deck everywhere, so yeah, I think you guys have seen enough. If you're looking for like good, affordable, mass market options for creepy Halloween decks, this is a really, really good one. The illustrations are by Abigail Larson. Sasha Graham wrote the book. Amazing. Really good value for your money, honestly. It's a good set. Then we come to a deck that's actually a very important deck in my spiritual awakening that hasn't been going on for the past year, and that's the Beautiful Creatures Tarot by J.R. Rivera with artwork by Jasmine Beckett Griffith, and this is the second edition. And that second edition is way better than the first edition, and I will explain why. This deck really helped me become a good storyteller. I was kind of scared of tarot cards. I kind of got into tarot cards, long story, but because of my mom, but I always found it really hard to memorize. And then I bought an Oracle deck last year and something clicked and I was like, yes, divination is for me. But I got back into the tarot because I felt like I wanted to be able to do it, and this was a really good in-between because this is a tarot deck with keywords on there. Now, keywords can be very limiting, but in case of this deck, it really helps. Because the cons of this deck are that I love Jasmine Beckett Griffith's artwork. The pros are that it has a really good like guidebook. I think this was more geared towards like 16-year-old girls that like dark eyeliner and blue mascara, which there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if I'd be a girl right now, I'd also have dark eyeliner and blue mascara and a heavy smoky eye. The cons to this deck are that most of the art was already in existence and they just slapped it on the card, and sometimes the art doesn't really convey the card meanings. Now, why should you get the second edition? The second edition has keywords. The first edition didn't, and the whole tarot community was like, wow, this is a really pretty deck with purple shimmery edging and really nice matte card quality, and that was something that was pretty new for Schiffer or Red Feather back then, because they always do the fucking extreme gloss that even I don't like. So this was really good. But then people were like, what the hell? What does this art have to do with Nine of Pentacles? There was not a connection. Or what does this art have to do with Ten of Pentacles? So people were not feeling the connection. It still sold pretty good, probably because of the popularity of Jasmine's artwork, and people love collecting it. So they decided to put out a second edition, and the author made some changes, and for the better. This really helped me develop my storytelling abilities without having the pressure of, ooh, I need to know all the cards and all the symbols. And after I started reading with this, I felt I was ready to actually start learning the tarot. I still have one more here, but I already showed that in a previous video. The Gorgon's Tarot. I was kind of doubting, should I show it to them or not? This is not necessarily a horror-based deck, but I just thought that the black and white type of art, just like with the Barbara Walker, also kind of reminded me of, I don't know, a Halloween-y vibe. Especially like the cards that have little splotches of red in them, which is, there's only 2 of them in the deck. I barely use it because it's too big. I should have picked up the mini version, but still, this is kind of a collector's item to me. I love the backs. I hope you guys liked it, and bye-bye. Happy Halloween.